little skeletal friend here. This can be any person, because we all have this internal scaffolding, which I like that. I like that word, internal scaffolding. Whereas crabs on the beach, they have an external one. They have an exoskeleton, soft on the inside and kind of hard tissue on the outside. It's the other way around for us. Our flesh surrounds this stuff. But you can tell this skeleton is, of course, nicely aligned. Can you look at it side on there? And if I show you from the ear and the shoulder and the elbow, you can see it's all lined up, and the wrist and the hips and the knees and the ankles. You know, if you hung a plumb line down the side of a human being, if that person was in Goldilocks zone, they would line up, everything would stack up neatly. They would have a good posture. But if they were very depressed, it's like you cut the string. You remember that toy that the bones all collapse when you press the button underneath? It all goes into collapse. They lose coherence, you know? But some bodies are ready to fight. Now, I want you to try a little standing exercise for a minute, just to bring this alive for you. Nothing awful is going to happen. You're just going to move with me and try a few little gentle movements. So if you come to standing behind your chair, so you've got space, I'll show you how much space you need. You kind of need enough to be able to turn your hands all the way around you like this. So now you're in a standing body, and I want you to try and stand like this skeleton. I want you to do your best alignment. So stand nice and tall, and you can have your feet shoulder width apart. And you can add this detail if you like. You can put your hands on your hips, so your elbows are pointing to the side, and you're giving yourself a good open posture. And then feel the balance and the equilibrium of that posture. And then for a minute, I want you to just for half a minute, let it collapse, let it hang as if you were very depressed in this moment. And then feel how different that is to your energy. Feel how your lungs are now more cramped because it's hard to breathe in there. And see how your feelings are different in this position. Your thoughts are different. Probably hard to put a string of thoughts together. This is a hypo energy state. So come back to the middle. And then we're going to go further up. Now I want you to just go into some aggressive stance. Make fists. Stick your jaw out as if you're ready for a fight. And feel how now there's too much tension. There's too much activation. There's too much readiness to defend, readiness to act. And then shake it off. Just shake it all off so you're back to neutral. You can sort of brush it out too and flick it off. And then come back to resting. And we're kind of back to the Goldilocks zone. Now some of what you're experiencing here is fight, flight, freeze, flop. Think of these 5 words beginning with F. Fight, flight, freeze, flop, and friend. They all are autonomically generated states in the interests of survival. And sometimes the clients get stuck in a fighting mode, or in a collapsed mode, or in a freeze mode. Try 10 seconds of freeze. Just freeze your body rigidly like a plank and feel how much tension is in your body there. And then shake it off again. That's not nice to hold, is it? But some clients get stuck there and they get triggered back into those states time and time again, just with a color, just with a word, just with a sound, just with a memory, what we might call triggers, a stimulus that keeps their nervous system stuck in those states. And our job is to help them out of those states. So sometimes we bring movement, we bring attention to posture, to breath, but also to sensation, impulse, and movement. Now I want you to feel how good movement can feel. Lots of clients who get depressed and collapsed, they feel hopeless because of the trauma. They felt overwhelmed because of the trauma, and we're going to help them to feel the opposite, which is like empowerment and triumph. So instead of being collapsed and hopeless, I want you to just put your fists up like a boxer, you know, in the ring, and just first of all do a slow motion as if you're boxing an opponent. You're dancing around the ring, and just feel in slow motion ability to defend yourself. You can give any kind of blow you want. You can come up to the belly, you can go to the side, and just feel what it's like for your arms to be able to defend this space around you. And then pause. Now we can call this space around us, well, we can call it our boundary, because our boundary is not just our skin, it's a little further out. People don't even have a right to just march into this space. It's your space. So imagine you have the right to defend your boundary. Well, you do. And you were just doing it there with boxing. Now try it with a little bit more high energy. Try it with lots of little karate moves in every direction, just for 30 seconds, for a bit of fun. Just karate moves every direction. So you can block behind you, above you, below you. You can do a couple of kicks. So you're really keeping all attackers at bay. And then come to rest. And just feel the energy of empowerment and the energy of triumph when you can successfully defend your boundary.